The best place to get Artist Alley advice is from the artists who sell there. In this video, I interview 3 different artists who were selling at MegaCon who have fantastic advice to share. Let's start things off with Elaine Art Geek. She is a local artist, business owner, and just overall amazing human being. She started her journey about 3 years ago, and she has been steadily growing her business ever since. This was her first year at MegaCon, so this is what she had to share with you all.
Hey there, I'm Indigo Ferret Craft. Due to the busy nature of MegaCon, I will be voicing for the artist's answers that Volpe couldn't record in person.
What's one piece of advice you would give to a beginner vendor?
The most important piece of advice I would give to a beginner vendor is to focus on putting yourself and your art out there. There are some vendors that present their very first Artist Alley table with a variety of different products right away, such as prints, keychains, pins, apparel, etc. And I think that's amazing. But for those that are starting very fresh, your goal is to show audiences and attendees your artwork and what you're capable of. Of course, the main goal for being in an Artist Alley is to make money. But in order to make money, people have to know who you are and what you make. When I first started tabling during WasabiCon 2021, I literally only had a small collection of mini prints, 5 sticker designs, my box of original art pieces, and a sign for commissions. My priority was just to put my art out there, and thankfully people responded in a positive light. I was fortunate enough to profit from my first ever Artist Alley experience. Making prints is one of the easiest things you can do to start tabling, and you really don't need to invest so much if you already have the resources, such as your own printer and paper, or if you have a Walgreens, CVS, or Staples nearby. So basically, not everyone will have the same amount and types of products as everyone else, but everyone has the same thing before starting: their artwork. However they choose to display said artwork is up to them though. As a beginner, showing off your artwork in any means should always be the first step.
So I've been following her journey for the past 3 years or so, and I was really excited to be able to interview her so that she could share her knowledge. I know there's benefit in getting advice from people who are a lot of years of experience ahead of you, but there's also equal benefit to people who are just a couple steps ahead. So next up we have Ashes AR. She was an artist that we came across, and my friend Indigo Ferret Craft was immediately drawn to her table. It was big, eye-catching, and had beautiful sea-themed artwork. She's a traditional artist who really hones in on how to sell and market your work, especially at events like MegaCon. Her and my friend had a fantastic conversation, and she gave a wealth of advice, so I'm going to let her, Indigo Ferret Craft, share what she was told.
Advice number 1. Make sure to have items that are low, mid, and high cost. So basically, buyer psychology suggests that most individuals will be turned off from the higher cost items, but want to spend more than the low cost items. This will make the mid-cost items more attractive to buy because to them, they are getting the best bang for their buck. Here's an example: memberships. The first tier is the cheapest, but that second tier has better goodies, and it's just $2 more. The highest tier is just too much for your wallet at the moment, and you don't need anything too fancy anyway. Advice number 2, if your work is detailed, organize your display so that the customer's eyes can rest somewhere. If you put multiple pieces of detailed art next to each other, the customer will be very overwhelmed and not know where to look, and that's when they start walking away from your table. If you leave blank spaces or less detailed spots on your display, the customer can rest their eyes while viewing your work. I personally loved this table because she had a section where her detail art was placed in a way where it made my eyes roam, and then when I looked in another spot, it was less detailed. So I had actually a problem of what to pick because I liked everything, because there were parts that were detailed and some parts that were not. So this is actually very important. You don't want people walking away from your table because they're just too overwhelmed to buy anything.
Now, if you've gotten any value out of this video so far, consider subscribing to the channel. Here, I'm documenting my journey building up my art business and sharing as much information as I can, including videos like these where I interview artists with more experience to get their insights on how they run their businesses.
Now, advice number 3, if your work is simple, feel free to fill up your display with as much work as possible. If your work has simple rendering or more of a graphic design style, a full display should not overwhelm the customer. A good example is if you get an artist who doesn't put so much in the background of their pieces, or has like solid color plates. There should be plenty of spaces where the eyes can rest between browsing between each pieces of artwork on the table. Advice number 4, invest back into your artwork. Once you start making money from your work, start putting some of that money back into it. You can upgrade your supplies, print on better paper, manufacture higher cost products, and so much more. Advice number 5, slowly discount the products you want to get rid of. If you have products that are not selling well, you can gradually decrease the price to get rid of the excess inventory. Or if you want to add new products, but you need more space to store them, you can gradually discount products you don't plan on selling anymore to make the space. Here are some examples. Examples are bundling, mystery packs, and freebies. After a customer pays a certain amount, they will get a free bookmark or a small print, a sticker, etc. Make it feel like a gift. Advice number 6, practice setting up, breaking down, packing, and unpacking your display. It goes without explanation that you need to practice how your display will look. Take the time to figure out where everything will go so you don't have to take too long to set up when you go to the event. You want to plan how you're going to pack your display for transport as well. Will you pack a luggage or plastic bins? Plan on how you will store and transport everything as efficiently as possible. Practice how long it will take to set up the entire display, to break everything down and pack it up. Time yourself. You want to get a feel for how this process goes so you can be prepared as possible when vending at events.
So, as you can tell, Ash's AR had so much information to share that I could barely keep up. Talking with her really resonated with us because we all come from similar situations where we went to art school and we had all these ambitions, but then by the time we graduated, the industry just was not in the right place for what we wanted to do. Thanks, art industry. So we had to come up, especially Ashes, had to come up with a way to, be able to sell and market and profit off of our work and practically build our own businesses. Now, lastly, we have my personal favorite artist of MegaCon, Kelly McMahon. And if I am pronouncing your last name incorrectly, I am so sorry. It has been so long. I am so sorry. So she is an illustrator and graphic designer based in Canada, and I fell in love with her table. I liked the way her table was set up. I loved her artwork, and best of all, interacting with her was so great. It was delightful. I liked her so much, I bought one of everything. But yeah, this is just a testament to how positive interactions can increase your sales. I love talking with her so much. I loved interacting with her so much. I literally bought one of everything. I don't normally do that unless it's one piece. So the fact that she was in one piece and I bought one of everything at her table, what does that say about her? So this question comes from a viewer. Hi, Love Vamp. And the question is, how do you eat healthier when going to cons, especially when you're traveling? So, considering that Miss Kelly is from Canada, I figured she would be the best candidate to answer this question. So I'll have her take it away.
So one of my top tips for eating healthier at conventions is obviously before you get here, ahead of time, look up what's available. You can't always rely on food on the convention floor to be healthy. Having said that, when it is really busy, sometimes you can't get away or your morning will get away from you and you do have to just make do with what's at the convention. So scope it out on the day you arrive and know what's here, what's available, and if that's not something that works for you, check what's available on the way in. We don't always rate Subway, but you can get a healthy sandwich there. Stop at Walgreens, stop at CVS. There's lots of options that I think work really well, and food that will sort of, it'll last a few hours if you bring it in the morning, so you've got lunch and it means you don't have to deal with the lunch rush of the show. But prepping ahead is one of the biggest things I can recommend, just knowing what's in the area.
Thank you so much to each artist who participated in this video. You guys shared a wealth of experience and it was great to be able to talk to you all. This is the last video of the MegaCon Artist Alley series, where we cover the different aspects of a large artist alley and share as much helpful information as possible. If you've missed any videos in this series, you can check out this playlist that has everything that we've covered so far. And I'll see you in the next video. Deuces.